Well, hello there, people. Welcome back to my channel, and still, Merry Christmas to all of you, and soon to be a Happy New Year to all of you, because year 2020 is just around the corner, and I still have a lot of work to do on my Ford Sierra Cosworth. So in this video, I wanted to show you my selection of rear main subframe bushings that I have, and initially, I wanted to mount the original bushings on my car because my quest with this car is to take it back to more of its original state. I want the car to be better to drive on public roads, and what could be better than having your car being standard like it was designed to be, in a way, at least when going on public roads. Of course, there's a lot of tuning that can be done to these cars to make them like better, but I mean, what is better? Is it better when the car is super stiff? Not always. I mean, going on track, yeah, it's better to have the car a bit stiffer and tighter, but on a public road, you need the car to conform to the surface, and to achieve that, you will have the need for a suspension that does conform to all the unevenness on public roads. So that is just the way it is, and obviously if you do take your car out on track, you will need to have the car set up in a stiffer way, but with this car, not gonna see any track use in its future, at least in my ownership. I want to make the car as comfortable but as nice to drive as possible. So what I had to do then was to focus at least on the bushings. There was a lot of polyurethane bushings all around. I have replaced all the front end bushings with standard bushings, and I have left to concentrate on the spring and shock setup, which at the moment is Bilstein and ABAC, and it's just a bit too stiff still for my liking, at least. And the bushings in the rear I also had to replace. So I wanted to put in these original ones, but what I found out after a while was that it would take a lot of force to press these bushings in, because they are actually this, or the size is the correct one, but I didn't think it was correct when I first looked at it, because the height here is basically half of the height you can see here. So, and you can also see the diameter of the first lip here that actually has to go all the way through is as large as the first dimension of the hole here. So you can imagine this taking a lot of force to being able to push it through. And obviously there is ways to do this when the subframe is on the car, but to be honest, I just couldn't be bothered making the tools and finding the tools to make it work in a way, and I didn't see it possible with the tools that we have here where I work. So my only option was either to make new tools, which I weren't gonna do, or it would involve to take down the subframe to use the massive press you can see there, but I couldn't be bothered taking down the subframe, so I went out on the hunt to see if there were any other options, so I could just leave this till eventually maybe next season, take down the subframe and get these original ones in. So I went out to see if there were any options, and I found the Powerflex Heritage Collection. And with one of my or one of my goals, I mean, was to get rid of the nasty yellow colored bushings on the underside. These was one of the boxes that I could cross out or tick the box or something. You know what I mean. So these are black. That's good. And the next thing, when I actually received these, were that I could see that the design also is different. On the sales ad, on the eBay ad where I saw them, they didn't have this small top hat design, which you can see here. It looked like this bushing, but it was black. So, well, I thought, okay, maybe it's just softer polyurethane. But when I got them, it had a different design, and it made me happy to see, because the nature of the design on this bushing is what makes it a bit more public roadworthy, I think. And the reason why I think so is, if you consider how these are mounted, is that this is, okay, let me show you if you didn't see it. Like, this is how it's mounted. It sits like that. So when this top end here is squeezed between the frame and the main subframe here, and you screw this bolt in, this is trying to compress straight away. And let me show you. So when this sits like this, and the bolt goes through like that, and it starts to compress as soon as you thread that bolt through, that means when you've tightened this all the way, this has compressed a lot, making it a lot stiffer. But when this is missing like almost a centimeter of polyurethane material on top, that means that it allows the bushing to move a bit, to conform a bit more like the original ones are. Because this portion does not squeeze together in the same way as this portion does on this more track-oriented bushing. And another thing you have to remember is that it's called an insulator. And it's called an insulator because of a reason. And the reason is because it's supposed to take away vibration and sounds coming from the rear subframe. And with this being a bit more thin on top here, it makes it just a bit more alike the function that the original ones has. And you can also see it has a recess or a milled out area around the center sleeve, which makes room for a bit more movement in a way when it's all mounted together. So all in all, I think the design of the top hat here is what makes this bushing a bit more public roadworthy than your average polyurethane bushing for these Ford Sierras and even Scorpio and Granadas. So I think that's what I can show you here. You can obviously make your own decision if you want to, if you're going to do this job yourself, and either upgrading from this to a polyurethane setup, or doing it the other way like I am doing, taking away polyurethane bushings to try to make the car a bit more public roadworthy. I think this would be the perfect choice in a way, because like I said, it would take a lot of force to actually press these in. So these are super easy to mount. I just mounted, like you saw, the one side there, and just popped straight in, and it was no hassle at all. So I think, like I said, this is the perfect polyurethane bushing for the road, because these are just too stiff, at least for my liking. These are meant for track use, and it actually says also, obviously it's a bit generic writing here, but it says designed for the track. I mean, obviously it's just a brand thing, but in some way it does say it's designed for track, and that is what it is. And I think these are more designed for road use. As you can see, a range of bushes engineered for the road to complement for your classic car. Obviously it's a sales thing and all that, but when you can see them now, like the design of them, you can definitely see that these are definitely more alike in the nature of how the original ones are. So I think I'll leave it there, people. Oh, one more thing. Look at these. I have saved these plates for the last time I had a Cosworth. I think this one is from 2011, and this one I bought in 2002 or 2003. So I've had these laying around in my spares bin, just waiting for for me to get my ass in gear and get another Cosworth. So now I finally get to mount my new suspension plates here, which looks awesome. So I can't wait, basically. So I think that's about it, people. If you do have any questions or comments or even experiences with these Heritage Collection bushings, please leave them down below in the comment section and I will be happy to read about them there. So again, I'm not going to drag it out. I hope you could use this video for something if you're deciding on replacing your bushings in your Sierra or Cosworth. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope you liked the video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my future videos. So until next time, people, have a great day, and see you guys later. Bye bye bye. See ya.